so to start today's look, we're going to make sure to prime the eyes. Today I'm just using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer as a prime because it's got a nice consistency and it lasts all day. So I just pat this on with my finger and just get a nice even coverage over my entire eyelid. This is especially important when you're using a very dark, bold color like we are today. You don't want that color moving and falling. Now I'm going to go in with a concealer, a powder concealer. This is a unique powder concealer in the color Fresh. I'm using a big fluffy brush to sweep this all over the primer that we just did on our eyelids. This is, again, going to help that set, dry, and be a great foundation. Now I'm going in with the color Beautiful. Again, these are going to be unique eyeshadows today. Using a fluffy brush, blending brush, I'm just going to sweep this lightly all over my eyelid. This is just going to be a nice transition color. Now using the color Provoked, which is a nice clay matte color, I'm going to go in again with another fluffy brush and just sweep this over, back and forth over the crease. Since these are not the focal colors, you don't have to be precise and you're not using a ton of coloring. You just want to get a little bit on your brush and really just work that in. This is just going to be a nice base. The orange undertones of this color, of this clay-like color, are going to be a nice base or foundation for the bright blue. Really going to be a nice contrast and help that blue really pop. So just a couple tricks. These are not must-dos. These are just things that I like to do. Again, like I said, for that contrast. It's going to be really important to just blend. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but you do want to blend that in as much as possible from the inner crease to the outer crease and back and forth. Now I'm just going to go back in with a fluffy brush and blend that out. So again, you're going to be blending the two colors that we just used so that there's no real line. It's just kind of a gradient fade across your eyelid. Again, like I said, this is obviously we're going to be doing a blue eyeshadow, so this is really just prepping and laying a foundation to help that blue really pop. So once it's all blended, and again you want to go in circular motions back and forth across your eyelid, just really getting rid of any lines. And now we're going to start in with the blue. So I'm using a matte blue. This is the color called Precocious. It's your basic navy. And I'm going to use a pencil brush, and I'm just going to dab that color in, not too much, but I'm just going to get a nice line. And so I'm going to take it from the crease to the lash line and just kind of V out that whole eyelid that I'm going to be putting the blue on. You can see that this is, I don't have too much product on my brush, really just brushing that across, getting a nice outline. I like to use a matte while I'm doing this because, again, mattes have to really be blended back and forth, and once a color has been really, really blended, you really are just left with like a nice thin covering, which is really what we want for this stage, because later we're going to pack on a lot of eyeshadow, but this is really going to just help it last long all day. So again, circular motions back and forth into that crease, kind of along the lash line, really just chiseling out that eyelid area. Now moving on to the next eye, again, starting at the outer crease, moving across the eyelid. You can go back and forth in windshield wiper motions, and then I like to go back and forth in small circular motions, just really pushing that color into the eyelid. Now I'm going to be taking the Rose Water. This is just a nice creamy, it's a wet, it just helps get the brush wet. And now I'm going to be taking that exact same color, Precocious, dampening my brush, and then packing on this color. Again, this is still, we are still in the foundation stages of this look, so you're not going to see the really bright, bold blue until towards the end. So again, we're just laying a nice foundation of a dark navy. The key to this is you really do want to pack in this color. You want to get a little brush, a flat little brush, get it wet. You can use water, however the rose water has some vitamins and other components that really help the product stick, almost like glue, so it really won't budge. You really want to make sure that you work this product all the way across your lash line and just kind of wiggle it back and forth through your lashes. And then the other thing to remember while you're doing a look like this is that you really have to pay attention to, you want to make sure that both eyes have even coverage. You want to make sure that however dark you get the left eye that the right eye matches, because the last thing you want is to have little patches where the color isn't as dark or it's darker in certain areas. Once you've packed on, now I'm going to take the pencil brush again that we used earlier and again just sweep a little bit back and forth at that crease. This again just kind of helps blend, and it also helps darken up the crease, really defining and making that eyelid pop. Once you've got one eye, just continue to move back and forth. You don't have to sweep any further than just the crease. So from the V of your outer eyelid to the crease. Now I'm going in with a dark navy eye pencil. This is also in the color Precarious. And the nice thing about this eyeliner is that it's very, very long lasting. So we're going to take it, we're going to just sweep it right along the lash lines. I really like to work this in because it's the same color of the eyeshadow that we're doing today. It does not have to be precise. It's not a very bold line. It's really just helping draw some definition. So I just kind of work it in at the lash line, pull it across my eyes, and then kind of work it in between the lashes as much as possible, because when your eyes are open, this is really when you're going to get that effect. After that, I'm taking a small little short stubby brush and I'm really just moving that eyeliner around with this brush. These brush bristles are very stiff, and so this helps just move the product around. Now I'm going in with the color Sexy, which is one of my favorites. It's like a champagne highlighter. It's got some shimmer in it. And I'm going to sweep this right underneath my brow, right at the very, very, very top of my eyelid. This is just going to help bring just a little bit of shimmer. Again, this is not the focus, so we don't want to overdo it. So I'm not using too much product, just a little bit. But the shimmery of your brow helps bring a real structured brow, and that helps your eyelid to pop too. Going back in with the rose water like we did before, I'm now going in with the color Twitter Pated, which has a little bit of a shimmery component. This is just a darker blue. So again, get that brush wet and just start packing. You just want to keep packing and packing and packing all over your eyelid until you've got the desired color. The nice thing about a pigment, when you get it wet, it shows the true depth of that color, and the more you build, the more color you get. So because you're not blending it out, you're really getting just a really, really deep concentrated color, which is key for a look like this. So just keep packing until you feel like you've got the color that your desired color, and then obviously move on to the next eye. Remember to just keep it at the eyelid. You don't really want to go above that crease by any means. And anything that you get above the crease, you'll want to take your pencil brush or blending brush and blend that out. Now I'm taking that blue pencil and I'm just lining the waterline of my bottom lashes. Again, we're just keeping everything really, really blue. We want this to be a seamless look from the top of your eyelid to the waterline. So it's kind of just completing the look and bringing that color downward so that you've surrounded your entire eye. This is also going to be really key to help bring in the smoky effect to this look. Now going back in with that short, stiff bristled brush, we're just going to again move the product around. This is just your basic eyeliner type of a pencil, and you're just going to really move that product so that we don't want any harsh lines with this look. We really want it to be blended as much as possible and really smoky. Now I'm going in to finish my facial makeup with some bronzer just to give myself a nice little bronzed glow. And as you can see, I've already done the first part of my makeup. I had all my foundation, all of that. So this is really just the final touches. Once you get to bronzer where you like it, where you feel that it's good, I'm adding just a nice soft baby pink blush. I'm using the color Stunning from Unique, but any soft pink baby blush will work for this look. And just really blend that out, because really what we're looking for is soft, dewy skin to really help those eyes pop. And now I'm using the Sexy, which is what we use at the bottom of our brow bone, just on top of the apples of my eyes, the bridge of my nose. I'm really just giving myself a soft glow. I don't usually suggest this much highlighter, but for this look, because we're going out, it's at night, I'm using a little bit more highlighter than I normally would. If you're going to use this look for the day, probably just stick to putting the highlighter on the tops of your cheekbones, inner eye, and maybe your Cupid's bow if you want a little pop for your lip gloss. And now I'm adding my favorite lip gloss ever in all time. This is the Unique lip gloss in the baby pink shade, which is lovable. You notice I didn't line my lips. I didn't do anything. Again, this is just a nice little pop of color to complete our look. And so there you have it. This is the look that we're going for. I obviously stopped the camera, finished my mascara, and here you go. This is my final look. It's just a really, really beautiful, bright, stunning blue. Thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.